What's going on, YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another, I guess this is a roguish deck video. I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting here playing Dragapult EX trying to justify that it's a rogue deck, and I really don't think I can do that. But I'm pairing it with Crobat, Team Rocket's Crobat, which is pretty cool. So you guys know what Dragapult does. It does a lot of damage, does 200 damage, 6 damage counters to your opponent's bench Pokemon, and Recon Directive is probably one of the best, if not the best, draw engine we got in the game right now, where you look at the top 2 cards, put one of them in your hand, one of them on the bottom of your deck. So you're able to cycle through your deck pretty well without discarding extra resources, which is pretty cool. But what I've decided to pair Dragapult with today is going to be the Team Rocket's Crobat line, where both Crobat and Golbat have a Sneaky Bite and Biting Spree ability, where when you evolve the Pokemon, you put 2 damage counters for Golbat and 2 damage counters, on 2 different Pokemon for Crobat. So now you can boost the damage counter spread even more on top of Dragapult by using Crobat and Golbat, which is super nice. And then if we absolutely have to use the attack, Assassin's Return, you can just put the Pokemon right back into your hand. So we could essentially just recycle Crobat and then reset up the evolution line and just keep the damage counters being pinged, spread as much damage as possible. It's a solid ability. I think it pairs very nicely with Dragapult, which is why I'm opting to put one Team Rocket's energy in the deck to make sure we can use the attack. And for my ace spec, I'm playing Neo Upper Energy over Sparkling Crystal, because with Neo Upper Energy, we're able to use it both on Dragapult as well as Team Rocket's Crobat. So we've got a bit more versatility that way. We've got Budew and Shaymin as our, standard, I feel like, single prize support Pokemon that we use in pretty much every deck to protect our bench, but also to do a little bit of item lock. We got 4 Iono, 4 Arven to make sure that we are drawing into the cards we want with good hand disruption, while also setting up our deck with cards like TM EVO, take extra KOs with TM Devo, and then get good items such as Buddy-Buddy Poffin or Rare Candy to evolve quickly or set up our bench efficiently. We've got 1 copy of Crispin to get the Fire and Psychic Energy needed to set up our Dragapult, 1 copy of Turo to full heal a Pokemon, or recycle that Crobat ability without using its attack. And then we've got 1 copy of Boss's Orders. Now the reason I'm not playing more Gust is because the goal with this deck is just to spread damage counters between these 2 guys pretty much everywhere we need for big KOs. Now for the rest of the deck, I think it's, pretty self-explanatory stuff you see every day in Dragapult. We're playing 2 copies of Counter Catcher, which functions as our backup Gust if we're behind playing Boss's Orders, 1 Vessel to get us the energy, a couple Nest Balls, some Ultra Balls to get us the Pokemon we need when we want them, Buddy-Buddy Poffins I mentioned, we got a couple Night Stretchers. I'm playing no Rod in this list because, honestly, you really don't need the Rod. Most times you've got enough backup Pokemon set up, you just need to pull out maybe the Fire Energy, maybe the Psychic Energy, maybe it's just the Dragapult EX out of the discard pile, so we don't really, I feel like, need more than Rod, but we have an EXP share to help with that energy recycling, and then this kind of helps function more just to get a quick energy or Pokemon back from the discard pile. And then Artazon, as you guys know, just to set up our entire deck, because we actually don't play any basic EX Pokemon, which is kind of nice since we want to fill our whole bench with Dreepies and Golbats and eventually Crobats and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. I know this is not a deck where I normally play meta decks, but I saw, this idea using Dragapult and Crobat, I was talking about it with a couple buddies, and I'm like, this would be a kind of fun video. And even though I don't really post meta decks, I figured, hey, let's post a little twist off of a big meta deck and get utilizing Team Rocket's Crobat, which we have not featured on the channel yet. So, without further ado, let's go hop into today's video and see how great a partner Crobat is for Dragapult EX. Welcome to match number 1. We are opening up with a mulligan and pretty much revealing to our opponent that, hey, I'm playing Dragapult, but nothing too crazy just yet, which is kind of nice. Although right now I am getting the Zubat, so I'll throw that guy in the active spot, and then we'll move on from there, showing my opponent, hey, this ain't your normal Dragapult list. We're a little bit different, and my opponent is playing Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. Okay, so it's probably going to be the Mewtwo, Team Rocket's Mewtwo deck, which, honestly, I think we could take pretty well. Now, the Tarantulas don't have much HP, so we could stack a ton of damage counters on those guys and go for an insane Devo play if we can't just run through them immediately. With spamming Dragapults and even a Crobat. Crobat, I believe, is swinging for weakness on Mewtwo. It should be weak to Psychic. They are getting the Team Rocket's Mimikyu out, which is going to be a little bit of trouble, but it's only got 60 HP. So again, utilizing the Crobats well and the Dragapult natural damage counter spread, we could take out the Mimikyu pretty easily. And yeah, this guy is weak to Dark. So if he could get 4 damage counters on the Mewtwo, we actually could take it out with Crobat, which is kind of elite. And I've got, honestly, a great hand to go in pretty well with this turn. I've got Iono to get me a new hand after I play the Buddy-Buddy Poffin to maybe get me a Zubat and a Dreepy. I think here the better play would probably be to go double Dreepy and just establish this as a more of a Dragapult deck, since that's what it is, and we have a lot less Dark Energy than we do Psychic Fire to attack. I'll keep the Ultra Ball in the deck again, not something I need to play. Ooh, a little bit of lag. These guys do have a One Retreat, which is a little annoying. I could go in with Budew, but I don't know if that's going to save me, because they've got such great supporters to play around. I think all I want to do, yeah, all of these guys got a retreat cost. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Let's just go double Dreepy here, and let's get these guys going. I feel like these are going to be more important than anything else. And then I'll rip the Iono, give my opponent a new hand, which is, I mean, whatever. I would love to get Energy TM EVO here, or just an Energy. I mean, that's fine. I could retreat. I'm definitely going to play the Artazon, and I think since we have access to Budew, I'm just going to Budew and just tell my opponent, hey, figure this one out. I mean, next turn I do have Rare Candy Dragapult, however, I don't have the energy needed to pull it off. So we'll just Itchy Pollen for 10 and see what my opponent can do with that. If I need to take another turn and go TM EVO, play it a little slower, I think that's fine in this matchup. Mimikyu only becomes scary when I evolve into Dragapult. So as long as I wait to use Dragapult for my attacking turn, I'm really just going to be giving him single prize Pokemon, which is something that I think is, like, okay. I think we can handle that pretty well. So we'll see what else my opponent's got. They got the Artazon. They could get themselves another Torrentula, which is fine. They could keep just the one Team Rocket's Mewtwo down. It's really not going to do much on my end. I'm just going to try to wait. Maybe I could dig out the Neo Upper and then go for the Rare Candy. I'm not sure. I have a good feeling that this is just going to be a big TM EVO play, and I mean, I'm absolutely fine with that. My opponent does absolutely nothing. Oh, yeah, all right, we're so chilling. Here, I'm not worried about them damaging the bench. So in all honesty, let me get out another Golbat, and then I can Arven. I do have an energy. I've already got one Psychic in the discard, which is a little annoying, but I do like the TM EVO play, since they did not do much. And then I could establish my Drakloaks, right? And I guess I don't need another Zubat here. Since I've only got one in the deck, I really only need the one guy to hang. So we'll just get we'll get another Dreepy down. You know what? I could Artazon for another, what do you call it, Zubat. What is the deck looking like? We got 4 Draklooks and yeah, only 1 full Crobat line. But once I get it out of the prize cards, I'm gonna fly through. I do have the extra Psychic Energy in the deck and TM EVO. So you know what? Give me the Zubat. I'm gonna go TM EVO. I think attacking as soon as possible in this matchup is probably the best thing for us. So we'll take TM EVO and maybe a Vessel for next turn, right? Because then I can dig out 2 energy from the deck and figure something out there. Or is there a better play we've got? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure what our best item card is. Maybe a Counter Catcher, assuming they take a KO on a Budew. And then we'll fall down 1 prize card. I like that. I like that. Thinking ahead a little bit. So we'll get the energy down on Budew. We'll smack the TM EVO down, and then we'll go TM EVO. I'll give them access to items. They'll have a pretty big hand. That's not something I'm too scared of. I think my goal here is that Budew gets KO'd. They don't play a Giovanni or something like that. And if they do and they take out a Drakloak, I mean, the worst thing is that the energy's on Budew. It's not the end of the world if I could dig out a Crispin or something like that. And get attacking this turn. Or Neo Upper. Crispin, Neo Upper are going to be our 2 best friends the following turn. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. They have 8 cards in their hand. If they had Giovanni, they may have played it last turn. I could also see them hanging on to it. They're going to go Team Rocket's Transceiver. Now, if they did nothing, no, they do go Giovanni. Okay, so they do just have the KO like that. I was going to say maybe they go Ariana because they had a dead hand. But if they're taking the Giovanni right there, I'm going to assume they got it. And they got a KO on Drakloak, which, as annoying as it is, we can still figure out. They get rid of a Counter Catcher, and I believe that was Proton there. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And they got the Spite Ops down, but they don't have energy in the discard pile to set up Spite Ops, so they still do need a little bit more before they go Giovanni for KO, unless they have the Team Rocket's energy, and they can just OHKO it with Mewtwo EX. Now that could be a little annoying, but again, totally something we can work around. I mean, I'm not stressing this too much. I think we could make it through this deck. We've got the power level, and I control my two prize Pokemon way better than I think my opponent does. They can choose their new Pokemon. Of course, they go for the Drakloak. I mean, that is just functionally the best Pokemon for them to take here. And they need a Team Rocket's energy if they want to make me really sweat. If they're doing this just to stall, I feel like that made no sense and he should have taken Dreepy, but whatever. We do have Arven. I could Ultra Ball, get rid of Counter Catcher and Arven here and go for a third Drakloak, but I think I want to see what I get off of these two Draklooks here before I take that KO, and I'll just, gladly take a third Drakloak. Now I'm looking at the top 6 cards of my deck, which is pretty nice. I need Dragapult EX and Crispin or Neo Upper Energy, and I'm sitting in a phenomenal spot. Team Rocket's energy is not amazing. It doesn't really do much here. I guess I could attack with Team Rocket's Crobat this turn, and I do get the Golbat as well. You know what? 2 damage counters, one of your opponent's Pokemon. What I could do is I could Arven for Rare Candy, Rescue Board, and then Ultra Ball away Counter Catcher Artazon, and go in with Crobat. Is that the play? Let me see how Crobat works. Let me take these guys for now. We might actually rip a Crobat here just to see. Put 2 damage counters. Choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon and put 2 damage counters on each of them. So I actually could choose their active. I could take the KO this turn. And you know what? Why would we not? Right? I mean, I feel like that just makes sense. We'll evolve this guy, and I'll put 2 damage counters on his active. My opponent's active Pokemon. I'll go Ultra Ball, get rid of Counter Catcher Artazon. I'm not going to need these 2 cards because I'm going to need a Crobat EX, which when I Rare Candy into, I'm going to spread 2 damage counters to 2 different Pokemon. I'm going to put 1 on my opponent's active Pokemon, and then 1 on, I would love to use Fighting Spree, and then 1 on one of their benched Pokemon. I think in a situation like this, I start pinging a Mimikyu, just because they could evolve these 2 guys, and I feel like that's a little bit worse, and Mimikyu's got to die at some point anyways. So we've got the Team Rocket's energy down, smack the Rescue Board on the active, and this is going to be the Crobat show, because we're swinging for 240. It says I may put the whole Pokemon back into my hand, and honestly, I think I do here. Because then hear me out, right? We're going to promote Budew. If they KO Budew, that's just the Psychic Energy and the Discard Pile, which is where I want it. I don't want this thing on Budew. But then more importantly, I can evolve my Golbat into Crobat EX, and I can then ping more damage counters anyways. Now I did discard, discard all attached cards. Okay, so I did lose access to Team Rocket's energy, which could be a bit unfortunate, but I mean, whatever. Did I think about that when I did this ability? No, I didn't. I honestly didn't fully read the card, and I totally thought that might come back to hand. So, hey, we'll figure it out. That small misplay on my end. I mean, hey, look, we get a Neo Upper, and boom, I won't make the same mistake twice. But that is kind of funny. I was like, wait, why did that go in the discard pile? That definitely says discard all attached cards, doesn't it? And then I go look at it. Yes, it does. Good job, Chris. You're doing great. They're going to Ultra Ball, and they're going to take out a Spidops, and they got rid of Charisma and Archer, was that? Oh, there's no way. Archer's not the last card in their hand. I mean, that would be insane, right? No, you go Ariana. That's honestly so much better for me, because then I'm left with my Crobat in hand, so I could still ping even more damage counters, which is just phenomenal. I mean, I got a Zubat, a Crobat, and a Dream. Again, looking at the top 7 cards in my deck, 1 from the top deck, and then the next 6 from the 3 Dragapults that I got in play. So my opponent is going to use Charging Up to get their one and only energy out of the discard pile, and they've got 8 other cards to play with. We'll see if they can take a KO with their Spidops. I mean, they just need a manual attach of any energy, and they could easily KO Budew. But what's nice about removing Crobat, which is really the biggest reason why I did it, I limited my opponent's ability to take 2 prize cards this turn. The really cool thing about their deck is it just attacks 1 Pokemon at a time. This is not Gardevoir. It's not a Dragapult mirror or something, you know, like that, because they're not totally a mirror match. But, you know, they're not spreading damage counters to the bench. So if I take Crobat out of play, they can't one-shot it this turn. And we are weak to electric Pokemon as well. I was going to say, I mean, we're dark. We might be weak to grass, but no, we're not. Proves how much I read the card before I jumped in the video, huh? My opponent's going to swing 180, take out the Budew with their Spidops, which is fine by me. Now, this guy does have a lot of HP. He's got 90 HP left, and I really don't think we could get there this turn. I think we always just promote Drakloak here And we see what my opponent's got in store for us. An EXP share I will gladly take. And I definitely want an Artazon here, right? Just get a Pokemon out of the deck. I mean, I'll take a Dreepy. Just help get it out of the deck at this point. This is fine. This is what looks like an ideal bench to me. And then we're going to triple Recon Directive and see if I can get something playable. Ultra Ball is going to be huge to get us Dragapult EX. Don't have 2 cards I want to get rid of, though, yet with that Ultra Ball. Here, I get the Turo and the Arven. I mean, I guess give me the Arven just because I can use it. I don't know. It doesn't feel great. And I get Neo Upper here. Okay, so now I could go in with... Oh my gosh, I could go in with Crobat again and just leave Crobat in play this time. It's kind of an insane play, but I really don't hate it. I mean, if we evolve into Crobat, right? And then I could ping some damage down onto Mimikyu and Wobbuffet. Or no, we do 120 damage, so I have to go their active here to take the KO, and then Mimikyu. And I think that's fine. We can definitely, let's Arven first before I figure out what I'm doing. I think the best play for us is probably a Vessel, and Evo is fine. I don't hate Vessel. I don't really hate cards like an Ultra Ball away either. You know, let me just take a Nest Ball, right? Because my thought process, my bench is fine. I can Ultra Ball away Nest Ball Buddy-Buddy Poffin next turn. I really don't need to do that this turn. I'm in a fine spot this turn. And then I could get Dragapult EX, Drakloak, or... I mean, I probably can't get Golbat unless I get out of the prizes and they play something like Archer, which is possible. But I think here, the best thing for us is just going up another prize card and just staying 2 ahead of my opponent at all moments. Do I want to put this Pokemon back in my hand? Absolutely not. Now that I know I am going to lose my spec energy that is attached to my active. Now, was it as cool as a Dragapult EX? No, not totally. I think that would have been a great turn to go Dragapult, but I'm not complaining too much. I get Iono out of the prize card, so I still have a Golbat and a Crobat that's prized, and my opponent gets Articuno. All right. Well, now they stop all effects of attacks. Don't do any of their basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, which is annoying, but remember, we got Devo, so I could still spread 5 damage counters on these Spidops, and then play a Devo and take a massive KO that way, so it's not the end of the world. My opponent promoted Mimikyu, which is the smartest promotion for them. They cannot Gemstone Mimicry, because I am not a Terra Pokemon in the active spot. I am just a Dark-type Crobat, so that does seem like... You know, they're kind of in a tricky spot. They did... Did they manual attach the Team Rocket's energy last turn, or was it this turn? It was this turn, okay. So that means they need an energy switch to get an energy onto Mewtwo if they want to attack, and I believe they cap at 280. So unless their A-Spec is Max Belt, and there's the E-Switch. If they got Max Belt, they can take a KO on Crobat. If they don't, they're going to leave themselves with dangerously low HP that we can totally work around. And they got the secret box to discard 3. Well, if they play Max Belt, we are going to see it here, and they are going to easily tie us up on prize cards. I'm sure they will go Team Rocket's Archer as the supporter per turn 2, just to knock my hand down to 3 cards, since I did take a KO last turn. And you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about that. Our hand really is not that good in all honesty. Now let's see what my opponent's got in store. They're going to take their time. I mean, I feel like they go... Their A-Spec would most likely be Max Belt, or they play Charms to get Rocket's Mewtwo up to 330, and it is the Charm they play. They got the Archer in their hand. That was Team Rocket's Factory. I definitely saw, and I did not catch the item. I guess it was Ultra Ball. Oh, are you getting rid of the Charm? You are. Okay, to take another Spidops. That's interesting. Definitely not what I expected, and I'm really not too mad about that either. And they can play the Archer. This is fun. I mean, they get themselves a new 5. I get a new 3, and this is a banger of a 3 cards. And by banger, I mean I got 1 out of the 2 cards I need to take the KO. I didn't really check if Crispin's in the deck, and at this point, I mean, I'm just going to kind of rock and hope it is. And if it's not, and I don't find it, I mean, hey, so be it. I'm trying my best. But I don't even know if my opponent could take a huge KO this turn. What's the Rocket Mirror? All damage counters from 1 to your opponent's active. Okay. Just making sure that wasn't move it from all of your bench Team Rocket's Pokemon to your active. I was going to say that would be pretty bad. But we're good. We're good. We're totally fine. All right. What else has my opponent got? If it's just a swing for 280, I mean, if Crobat tanks a hit here, we're chilling. We could take 2 turns to set up a Dragapult EX. I guess that Mimikyu could cause some major problems. I don't want to evolve into Dragapult until I'm ready to Dragapult. Excuse me. I apologize for yawning. I really don't know why. I guess I'm feeling pretty tired. I didn't even realize it. My opponent's going to play the Transceiver. Did they just fail that? Why play that to fail it? That just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like that's such a good card. Like, what if I hit them with an Iono and they have no supporters? And it's like, but... You know, late game Iono, after they shuffle their deck a little bit, that Transceiver could be like the make or break, and they just pass for turn. Oh my god, that's... I feel awful for my opponent. That is definitely not what they wanted to see. I think here what I want to do is I want to put the energy on Drakloak, right? On this Drakloak specifically. I like having the pivot with this Drakloak, and I like this one having EXP share. So if they go Boss KO on this guy, I still get the energy moved to this Drakloak. I don't need to attack with Dragapult EX this turn because I'm taking a KO with Crobat, and I don't want to give them access to that Mimikyu just yet. I will take the Fire Energy out of my hand and put the Dragapult on the bottom just in case I need to play Iono this turn and make my opponent's hand a little bit smaller. I love the Boss's orders here. I mean, Boss on Mimikyu just feels so strong. Or even the Articuno, in all honesty. We could take the Night Stretcher here too. I could take the Psychic Energy back. Now this is phenomenal. Now do I go Boss on Mimikyu or Boss on Articuno? Because if I boss up the Articuno, it makes it easier for me to KO Mimikyu when it's on the bench. If I boss KO Mimikyu, I mean, that's just an annoying Pokemon that's gone. They could play another, and I know they definitely don't play another Articuno. They could play one more Mimikyu, but I don't know if they necessarily do. If they do, we'll figure that out when they get there. I think for now I'm just going to boss it up, kill it, because that is a pretty solid Pokemon to just deal with right now. And then I'll drop down to 2 prize cards left, which feels amazing. Would I like to put this Pokemon into my hand? No. I kind of love having the Crobat in play as is right now. We'll take one more prize card, go up 3, and I finally get a Golbat out of the prizes. Oh my gosh, alright, that makes me feel a little bit better. I can't use Assassin Return on this Golbat, but it is just going to be there to help me fix some math and ping some extra damage counters. I got a Crobat EX out of the prize cards in case I cannot one-shot this Mewtwo EX, which it's more likely than not I cannot one-shot my opponent's Mewtwo EX, but it does not seem like they can one-shot me either. They could swing with Spite Up, soften it up, and they go Iono, put me down to 2. I mean, that's fine. I got 3 Drakloaks in play. There is your supporter for a turn, so it does not seem you are playing a boss's orders or anything, and I get Devo out of the top decks off the Iono, which honestly feels pretty good. Counter Catcher is not going to do me much good, since I really don't think I'm taking a KO. Excuse me. I don't think I'm falling behind this turn. And yeah, my opponent's got the extra grass energy in hand. I think we're in a great spot here. I really don't think I'm too worried. They go Erasure Ball, 280 max damage, which means my Crobat is tanking a hit, and I'm going to be able to get one more attack off with this guy, which feels phenomenal. And they swing for 160, opting to get rid of no cards, which is kind of surprising. But they could easily KO this guy next turn, which is fine. So we'll just go triple Drakloak. I mean, this is cool. We'll happily take a Crispin here. I mean, that is a phenomenal card. We've been looking for this guy literally all game. Happily, that Night Stretcher works. And then, right? Because I might need the Psychic Energy. No, we should have a Psychic Energy still in the deck. So I'll actually take the Ultra Ball, because then I can get rid of Counter Catcher and even the Fire Energy if I need to. And then I'll go one more Drakloak. Just because right now I've got Ultra Ball for Dragapult EX, and I got another Arven, which feels pretty cool too. This could be a Dragapult turn. I just don't know if I want to really waste the energy to retreat. Although I could get the... you know what? Is it better to attack with Dragapult this turn? It actually might be. Let's go Crispin. I've got my last 2 energies in the deck. I'm going to put the Fire Energy into my hand. I'm going to attach the Psychic Energy to this guy here. I'm going to smack the Fire Energy down to my active so I could retreat, but keep the Neo Upper, because I might need that to clean up a Mewtwo, depending on what my opponent does. And then I think here we go Ultra Ball, and I get rid of Counter Catcher to honestly... maybe Arven. I really don't need a supporter at this point. I've got an energy in hand for next turn. And, I mean, I've got a great draw engine to work around. So we'll retreat for the 1 energy. I know I'm not going to be able to spread damage. well with Dragapult EX, and that's fine. I'm not sweating that too much. Because I could put it on the Spite Ops, and then if I evolve into Golbat, I mean, I'm sitting in a great spot. So we'll do this. And then now I've got my opponent in a really, really weird spot where they need another Mimikyu, Team Rocket's Energy, or... No, actually, because they don't play Psychic Energy, it's just Grass and Team Rockets. Yeah, they need a Night Stretcher or Mimikyu plus a Team Rocket's Energy to swing for 200 damage and spread 6 damage counters, which is going to do nothing. Now... Excuse me. That Wobbuffet is going to be wild annoying. I mean, they can move 200 damage off the Mewtwo, onto Crobat, take the KO, but then Dragapult stays okay. That doesn't seem that bad either for us. And then if Wobbuffet's in the active spot, we go Phantom Dive, KO Wobbuffet. I just need to find a Golbat, and I'll be able to KO the Spite Ops, because I'll put the 2 damage counters on the Spite Ops, I'll use the Phantom Dive, put the 6 damage counters there. This seems fine. I think we're actually in a great spot here to deal with my opponent. They played the Ariana, so they're not going to play a Penny or something like that. It seems Wobbuffet might be their way to do solid damage, since Dragapult EX is not going to do enough to KO, and they just go manual retreat into the Wobbuffet, I'd imagine, and just move the 200 damage onto Team Rocket's Crobat, which also means, you know, there was a world where maybe I should have kept that Arven, so that I could have dug for Night Stretcher or Candy, and then searched out the other one and gone Rare Candy into Crobat. Or Golbat, actually. I think just keeping the Arven and then having Night Stretcher to get the Golbat would have guaranteed us game, huh? Unless they don't take out, yeah, I was going to say, unless they don't take out Crobat and they put it all on Dragapult. Now this is an interesting spot, because now Crobat stays there. Never mind, we topped that game. Deck is busted. Alright, we'll throw the 2 damage counters here. And then we'll use Phantom Dive, KO their active, put the rest of the damage counters on these Spite Ops there, and that's just going to wrap it up for a game. That was a long one, but I feel like we were so comfortable the whole time. Like, not once was I too worried about what is going on there. And we prized literally half of our Crobat line, which is nuts. So, yeah, I mean, hey, solid match number 1. I'll see y'all in match number 2, and we can see if we could get after and guarantee the positive record with the Crobat addition to Dragapult EX. Welcome to match number 2. We're up against Team Rocket's Arbok, which is going to be insanely difficult to work around if we... Actually, that's assuming we can't evolve into Drakloak before they get Arbok in the active, or... Wait, what do you call it? Go Team EVO. I mean, of course we have Rare Candy, yes. Now, Golbat is going to be almost impossible to get out unless we have the world's most nuts start. I mean, Arven here is going to be pretty sweet. We're going to get Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I could go TM EVO. Honestly, you know what? That actually doesn't feel that bad. Even if I have to attach the Team Rocket's Energy to Budew, I could EVO in... You know, I could EVO into 2 Drakloaks, especially with Neo Upper in hand. And then we might just deal with this deck being pure Dragapult, I think, would be the most efficient way to do it. I mean, am I using the Crobat line? No, but I feel like the Crobat line is going to be borderline impossible to get out in this matchup, which, I mean, it's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's fine. They're going to get a bunch of Ekans down. We'll see what else they have in hand. I mean, I'm pretty confident that they can kind of just run us over and prevent us from evolving, which is why I want to get Draklokes down as soon as possible. Because that ability is not one I'm really looking forward to working around. We'll see. We'll see. If I have to attach to Team Rocket's Energy and go Neo Upper, I will. Does it say it's just... This card can only be attached to a Team Rocket's Pokemon? Oh, never mind. I can't even attach it to go Team EVO with it. I'd have to attach Neo Upper, which is not feel nearly as good. So then, you know what? Maybe I just stick for Rare Candy, right? I could go Arven for Buddy-Buddy Poffin. And, I mean, we could take the EVO just in case. Like, this feels kind of fine. And I can figure out a way. Do I? No, I don't ever attach Neo Upper. Is Crispin in the deck? I think it was. Yeah, I see right there. Alright, Crispin is in the deck. I can't attach this because then it can only attach it to Team Rocket's Pokemon or it gets discarded, which is what I was afraid of. I was hoping it would just say, oh, it's only 1 colorless energy if it's attached to any other Pokemon. That would have been awesome because then I could see him EVO. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, so I'm just going to go Itchy Pollen and just tell my opponent, hey, you got no items. Figure this one out. And then I can Iono next turn. If they evolve into Arbok and I can't go into Drakloak, I mean, so be it. Maybe I can attach TM EVO to Budew and then Iono and dig for a Psychic or Fire Energy. And they go EVO themselves. I mean, that's fine. Because now I can still manually evolve into Drakloaks, which is pretty cool. Right? Oh my god, if only I got like a Zubat down last turn. Because then I could have gotten, what do you call it? A Golbat down, maybe a Crobat at some point. Done the extra damage counters, but no, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. They're going to Iono themselves. Okay. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. I was probably going to do it at the next turn too, so this works. And we'll get a Drakloak ourselves, plus an Artazon, and they get Arbok down. Oh, no. And my TM EVO's on the bottom of the deck because I searched it out like a bum. And they get Pokemon League headquarters. Now TM EVO's going to cost 2 energy, but I have Artazon, so I guess not. That's fine. Okay. We can take this deck 1 Dragapult EX out, and we are so okay. So I just need to slow down. We can work around this one. I got Artazon for another Dreepy. And I just need to dig out my rare candies or my TM EVO. Professor Terror Scenario is a card I honestly do kind of love to draw into. I am going to Artazon here, and I think since we don't have a super playable hand, I'm not going to force it at all. I can smack an EXP share down on 1 Dreepy. I can also get down another Fire Energy on another Dreepy, just in case. Now, if this guy gets KO'd, energy gets moved. If this guy gets KO'd, we still have energy over here. And then I just Itchy Pollen for another 10 damage and tell my opponent, hey, that was an awesome turn, do it again with no items. I'm going to take my time and search out an Arven, an Iono. TM EVO's on the bottom, but the deck is shuffled, so it could be the next card. And if it's the next card, well, I am so chilling, because then I'll just TM EVO my Pokemon into play. Now, the reason I can TM EVO, too, if you haven't seen Team Rocket's Arbok, super cool card. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponent can't play any Pokemon that have an ability from their hand, except Team Rocket's Pokemon. So I can, oh my god, wait, except Team Rocket's Pokemon. Dude, I need to just read cards today, because Crobat is a Team Rocket's Pokemon. Oh my god. This literally is the perfect Crobat deck. Okay, that's fine. We're totally okay. We're going to get Dreepy up in the active because I can bite this turn, if nothing else. And there is a really cool Crobat, and I can't even bite. Ah, man. You know, we might just have to retreat into Budew, but I don't want to give them another prize card to go Budew, and I can't even attack because they have a stadium in the way. Oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. Okay. I mean, I'm happy their deck is working for them. This is what I get for just not paying attention to anything. I should have promoted this Dreepy to keep the energy, but since we're here, we're just going to get rid of Drakloak and take 2 energy out of our deck. I can smack the Psychic Energy down here and go for the same kind of play I had going last time. And then I think we just end our turn there, and that is fine for now. My opponent will draw cards. They can play all of their items that they couldn't play before. Man, that is losing by not reading is the worst way to go. Especially when you're out here making videos for everyone to watch. So now everyone could watch me doing that, yell at me in the comments, and then get 3 minutes farther down the video and realize, he realized it anyway. It's just far too late. I do that all the time. I think it's so funny. Because then I read the comments, and then some people comment. They're like, "Yo, you could have gotten this Pokemon down," and then they'll reply to their own comment. They'll be like, "Yeah, I see. You also made it to that conclusion. It just took you a bit longer." That is a phenomenal top deck, except for the fact that my Drakloaks are still going to get KO'd, aren't they? Alright, how do I do this? We got a way to do this. We definitely got a way to do this. We go Arven here. I can't go Ultra Ball and Rare Candy. I could go Buddy-Buddy Poffin and TM EVO. Because we got TM EVO, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I just sack those 2 Dragapult. They're going to take 3 prize cards. That is disgusting. Because Drakloaks only have 90 HP, so they're still going to get KO'd. And I played Arven, not Turo, because I need to go TM EVO. So, oh my god, do I not even have... No, I do have my Zubats. Do I just go in double Golbat? No. We can't. Alright. Let's go here. Actually, you know what? I might, because they've got Pokemon League headquarters in play, and, like, what am I doing with Dragapult against that. I think we are just going to go double Zubat, evolve into double Golbat because I got Team Rocket's Crobat, and that's, at this point, the absolute best I could hope for. TM EVO is not going to work for just one energy, so we're going to do it for 2 and scream about it later. I'm going to go TM EVO, and I'm just going to accept I'm playing this game with no Dragapults because I'm a bum and I should have gotten Golbat out from the start. Good job, Chris. In a best of 3, I think I could take this deck down. In a best of 1, I forgot reading is not my strong suit. And my opponent's got a fat 3 prize card turn lined up. I need to top deck Neo Upper Energy, Team Rocket's Energy, or Iono to have a shot at finishing this game out. We could definitely do it with Crobat. I mean, they're doing 30 damage a turn. One Crobat is going to be sitting there for 11 turns unless they play a damage modifier. So we've got time on our side. I mean, they could play Devo, and they definitely do in a deck like this. So you know what I could do? I moved it. That is the most useless effect I've ever seen. Move the energy onto that Dreepy just for it to get KO'd as well. Alright, what do we do? Promote this guy. Right. I could Turo up a Pokemon as well. Crispin does go kind of crazy. Night Stretcher doesn't really do me too much now, does it? I mean, it could get more Pokemon back, or more energy back. More Pokemon. Pokemon aren't going to save me. So, you know what I could use this, though, is to retreat. For now, I think we just kind of hang. Not too worried about them taking a KO yet. I have 50 HP, so they can't Devo yet either. Next turn, I'll pull out my Evolution to Crobat, and then also go Turo on the other Golbat to just reset that Evolution, reset the damage a little bit, just so the damage is a little staggered. Makes it a little harder for my opponent to go TM Devo. And then, yeah, they're going to put damage down to 60. Again, Iono, Team Rocket's Energy, Neo Upper, and Arven. That's not really either of them. Okay, so I think we just keep the play we had lined up. We evolve here, spam the damage counters down on, I mean, I could do it on 2 Pokemon. I might as well take out their active, right? It's the only one that's set up. No, because we swing for 120, so I kind of want to just ping these guys so we could just get them all. And then right now I want to go Turo on my active and get access to Crobat again. And then this will be way harder for my opponent to work around. And then I'll put 2 damage. Yeah, I would love to use Biting Spree. I'm going to put 2 damage counters here, and then I guess 2 more. We'll do on this benched guy here, and that's fine. And then I'll pass for turn. I've got Arven next turn, so I don't have a great way to get out Neo Upper or Team Rocket's Energy off the Arven, which is fine. Wow, that is a super loud thunder. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys heard that through the mic. It's been insanely hot where I'm at, and I knew there was going to be a crazy storm the next time it rained. That thunder shook, like, the room. You know what it's like so loud it, like, vibrates? It's not, like, bad, like an earthquake or something insane, but, you know, you get that little shake from the thunder and just hit that. Hopefully, the storm doesn't start, and I can keep my power. My opponent is taking their time thinking this one through. It seems this is going to be a long video today. A lot of misplays, a lot of misplays, which is fine. I mean, that is exactly how I plan all my videos to go, and they do nothing. They don't even spinning tail. Wait. I mean, I definitely go into Golbat here, right? And then we could put the 2 damage counters here. So this guy's at 40. And then we can go Arven for Ultra Ball. TM Devo doesn't feel that bad. Do I have my other Crobat in the deck? I do. Oh my gosh. You know, I could even Nest Ball for Shaymin here, just so they can't damage my bench that well. That feels pretty good, actually. From your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah, okay. So now I don't evolve this guy until I'm ready to attack. We just hang out. Have a great time. Pass it over to my opponent. They got 12 cards in hand. I got a dream. I think we can close this one out. This is what's weird about Arbok decks, is like the beginning of the game is a nightmare. It's like you never know. I've played against them a couple times on the ladder. I always am a mess in the beginning of the game against this Arbok deck until I like get my grounding, especially when I'm sitting here yapping. I got no idea what words are coming out of my mouth when playing the game. So, you know, I'm just trying to play the game. I'm trying to stay in there. And that gets to a point where they're, like, close to winning. But then you've got it figured out. And you've got your line. And you're like, all right, we can turn this whole thing around. And my opponent is going to sit here and do nothing. My deck is getting a little bit thinner. The chance of me getting Neo Upper Energy, Team Rocket's Energy, or Iono increase every single turn. And with those chances of increasing, I mean, once I get one of those, I think I've just got it. At that point, the second I get Crobat and both of those energy, I mean, good night. They're just not taking out all of these Pokemon, and I get a counter catcher. Oh my gosh. Well, that feels pretty good. Now, my opponent doesn't seem to be here. I think they got upset and just left. I'm going to bring up this guy for now. I am going to Crispin. I'm going to get a couple extra energy down, especially on this Shaymin, just in case they try to go for some sort of boss play and just keep this guy in the active. Now, what I could do, I'm going to hold this energy in hand. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if I can get an Arven and Rescue Board, because if I can Rescue Board, retreat this Crobat into Shaymin, and just start swinging 30 with my Shaymin, yo, I will. I fear nothing. Like, that does not bother me at all. I will Devo all of their Arbok after attacking them with Shaymin, using, what is that, Smash Kick for 30? Good night, dude. Who knew Shaymin had it in him? Who knew this Shaymin? This Shaymin is looking happily in the eyes of death of all the opponents it's ready to KO. My opponent is going to attach the energy to Arbok. They can swing for 30 damage, but it's only going to be on my active Pokemon. Shaymin will protect the bench. And if they start swinging, I actually don't think I promote Shaymin. I actually like Shaymin to keep my Pokemon here, and they go Devo. Okay. Well, doesn't that help me? They devoted at the wrong time. They didn't do 30 damage to my active and then KO it that way. Interesting. They said, you know what? No, I want you to get more damage down. Well, this is fine. I'm going to take out your Ekans, and then I'm going to evolve here, and I'm going to take out, I would love to use Biting Spree. I'm going to take out these guys. Feels pretty good. And then I'll take one prize card. And we'll start our come back right about now. Dragapult EX, that would have been really cool a long time ago. Okay. And they just scoop. Fine. Yeah. We were going to get through that one. I am confident we were going to get through that one. That works. Match number 2, I guess. Guaranteed. Solid win rate, positive win rate, whatever. You guys get it. Hop into match number 3. Crobat, it's working. Let's do it again. Welcome to match number 3. We open up with an awful hand, and we're up against a Reveroom. I did take a mulligan against my opponent as well. Where's right here, and I didn't know what they were playing. I just saw the Reveroom, and I still am going to have no idea what they're playing. I'm not going to get any information, which is fine. I am going to opt to bin a Drakloak here, just because we play 4 of them. I've got 3 Night Stretchers if I need them. And more importantly, I can start getting some energy in play. I will attach the Psychic Energy since we have an extra, and if they go Boss KO with some insane play, I mean, I'll lose a Psychic Energy, which sucks, but I have 2 more of them, whereas I only have 1 more Fire Energy since we prized one. So I'll pass it on over to my opponent that way. And then, you know what, if nothing, absolutely nothing else, I've got Drakloak to get me a couple cards. My opponent is going to play Larry's Skill. Wait, what? Discard your hand, search your deck for a Pokemon supporter card, basic energy card. Oh my gosh, what is going on? It is an Alidon Reveroom deck with Larry's Skill. This is crazy. This is insane. And they take, what did they take? Hold on. I have no idea what is going on in the video. Pokemon supporter, basic energy card. Okay, so they have the supporter still in their hand. They got another Larry Skill, Duraludon, and the energy that they discarded to then draw a bunch of cards with Rumbling Engine. Oh my gosh, this is an insane build. I love it. All right. This is going to be a fun match for sure. I've got no idea what's going on. All right, we get a Nest Ball. That's actually pretty big. Definitely going to need this guy. We're going to Nest Ball out now, and honestly, I don't even hate the Budew and just item lock them. But I think getting another Dreepy here is important, just so that we could try to dig a little deeper next turn. For now, I'm going to evolve into Drakloak. They could very well have a boss's orders. That would be ridiculously bad for us. I think we just send it anyways, attach the Fire Energy, and it comes to a point where it's like playing the game is more important than not playing the game. And I need to play the game a little bit better. I feel like I'm off to a very slow start, and I need to pick that up. So I am going to, honestly, I don't even hate the Golbat here, but I do like the Nest Ball, more importantly, into another Dreepy. just because that also feels really good. Just to go in with Drakloak, because I feel like we need to make up some ground. I'm going to evolve into Golbat, and I'm going to get some extra damage down on Duraludon, just because that is a tanky Pokemon when it is fully evolved, and I would love to get much closer to one-shotting it if possible. And then we'll pass it on over to my opponent. Now, if they have Arch-Aladin energy and Boss's Orders to take out Drakloak with 2 energy, they're just the better player, and there's nothing I can do about that. If they do, I could Ultra Ball and attach Neo Upper Energy to what will be Crobat, and then keep that guy in the active. They have Legacy Energy, so it's worth 1 prize card. Oh my gosh, what is happening? And they retreat into Duraludon. They're going to evolve into Arch-Aladin. They have a bunch of... They got Jamming Tower. That's actually not something I'm super, super worried about just yet. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not too worried about that much in general. I guess if they whiff the KO, I can't Rescue Board my way on out of here, which would be a shame. And I played my Vessel. Yeah, that could be pretty problematic, actually. What do you got in store for us, though? If you just leave Duraludon with the energy attached, I'm not sweating it too much. Because I could KO that guy pretty easily with an Arven for Ultra Ball and just use my Crobat to deal with that guy. And you go Rumbling Engine, discard another energy. You got 6 cards in hand. You have not played a supporter for a turn yet. You got another Duraludon down. You have an Ultra Ball to get rid of 2 cards. You get rid of Hawlucha and Nest Ball to take out Arch-Aladin. Are one of the other 2 cards in your deck Boss's Orders? If they are, again, you're just a better player, and that's I will just cut my losses. I believe one of them should be, what do you call it? Larry's Skill, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think, no, I owned last turn, so I did put that Larry Skill on the bottom of their deck. So they could have Boss's Orders. They did get rid of 1, if I'm not mistaken, in the beginning of the game, and they play another Larry Skill, so now they're down 3 Larry Skill. That's a lot of... They play 4 of them, dude. What? What? You take out Black Belt's training. What is happening? Oh my god. They're going to KO me, though, with Black Belt's training, plus Dragapult EX. Oh my gosh. This is a nightmare. Alright, how do I want to do this? I could go Counter Catcher so that they can't one-shot or Dragapult EX perfectly because of the Relicanth. I could actually take out the Relicanth too. That doesn't feel that bad. And I get a Crobat here. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? Let's go Recon Directive. See what I draw into. I like the boss Counter Catcher. Buddy-Buddy Poffin feels pretty good. Because then I could get out a... I don't know what. I mean, Dreepy Zubat. Yeah, sure. I like Golbat. We're going to abuse Golbat this game. We're definitely going to Arven for Ultra Ball as well. And what's something we could get rid of? Because I need to keep Crobat, Counter Catcher, Neo Upper Energy. So I got to get rid of Budew and probably TM EVO at this point. Because I could see Devo having value. Yeah, I could see Devo having value more than TM EVO at this point. So let's just Ultra Ball away these guys. Bring on the Dragapults. And then we'll evolve here. I'm going to hold the Neo Upper just in case. We do have a Phantom Dive. You know, I could take out their Draw Engine and take out Reverum. But I think it's more important to take out Relicanth so that they can't go Raging Hammer for a massive KO. So we're going to go Phantom Dive. We're going to throw all the damage here. Because now if I evolve into Golbat, put 2 more damage there, swing for 200, that's a KO on Arch-Aladin, and I get Rare Candy! Oh my god, I've got the perfect hand to do it! Rare Candy Crobat, 2 damage counters on the Arch-Aladin, and then 2 damage counters on another Duraludon. I can attach Neo Upper to Crobat. I won't do that just yet. We don't know if that's totally the line, but it feels pretty good. Guarantees me my KO, to be quite honest. And they do have Black Belt's training. They need Night Stretcher now to bring back the Relicanth, because that is going to be an essential card for my opponent. But if they bring that guy back down, I am going to... Yep, there's the Night Stretcher. I'm going to put the other 2 damage from Crobat back on the Relicanth. I'm going to use as many Phantom Dives as possible and take that thing out ASAP and fix my prize cards that way. Now, what's nice is I should be living this attack, and this is another deck where it doesn't seem like my opponent has access to spread damage or something like that, similar to match number 1, which is pretty good, and they just swing to 20, which is pretty solid, and we get Artazon for the bump. I don't have a Pokemon I could take from it, and I'm playing no tools yet, so I am going to hold it in my hand alongside Neo Upper. I'm just going to go Crobat, and I'm going to take these 2 sets of damage counters I can take, put them here and here. And then we're going to swing for 200. If my opponent's got it like that, they got it like that. Not much I can do about it. I'll get all my extra damage down over there. And then I will take one prize card because of Legacy Energy. It's a shame. It's a shame. But it's Ultra Ball, which is pretty great. I mean, it's hard to complain about an Ultra Ball, which I could get Drakloak out, and honestly, I might. I could get rid of Artazon in my top deck and take a Drakloak and just get a small draw engine going. My opponent is going to Archaladin, which gets them 2 energy. And as long as they have an energy in hand, I was going to say they got the guaranteed KO. It seems this is going to come down to Crobat a bit with the Neo Upper Energy in play. So I'm going to lose 2 more energy, and those will be the only 2 energy in the discard pile. I've got a lot of Pokemon in the discard pile, though. Now is where a Rod feels more and more amazing. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes. I love a Psychic Energy here. Sadly, not going to be a card. I mean, I honestly might have to just bin it to get a Drakloak because I need to draw something at this point. And I've got how many Night Stretchers left? Hopefully all 3 and an EXP share. I've got 2 energy. Is Crispin in here? You know what? Actually, I might be able to make this work. We'll evolve this guy into Drakloak. We'll go Recon Directive because that's going to feel awesome. And I will happily take an Iono here. That is the best Recon Directive ever. It made everything feel so much more worth it. We're going to get... Ooh. Counter catcher. So I could bring up the Reverum and just leave that guy there a turn. That also feels like a great KO to take. Just so my Crobat could hopefully stay up 1 more turn. And then if they evolve into Archaladin to get the energy to retreat, I could just bring up this Archaladin because it'll have no energy. That'll be pretty hard to get rid of. So I think we're going to go Assassin's Return. Swing for 120. I'm not going to put this Pokemon into my hand. I'm going to hold on to it. I do still have Arven. I should still have 1 more Artazon, so I could get access to... I could get this Jamming Tower on out of here, get access to Rescue Board at some point, which feels pretty awesome. I also don't mind taking a Zubat out with the Night Stretcher, just because I do have another Rare Candy Crobat, but I think, in all honesty... I don't need to do that. And they get a Night Stretcher, so they could take 1 energy out, or they could take Archaladin. Yeah, and they got the whole setup to retreat, which is fine. Now, though... I think there's a lot more value in going Night Stretcher for Zubat. Because then I could Rare Candy into Crobat, and I could take out Reverum and Relicanth, or I could try to save it for Dragapult. Right? Because then I could just put 2 damage counters on each of those. They go Boss's Orders on Drakloak. Okay, hey, you know what? That's fine. Because now my Crobat stays full HP, which, I mean, I am obsessed with. And if we get a boss or a counter catcher, we're going to bring this guy up. It's going to be so hard to get that out of the active. That thing is going to sit there for a little bit, at least 2 turns while they get energy to attach a tree. And they're already down. They're already down 3 energy. So they got 6 energy played at this point. Yes, it's a good bit, to be fair. We got Arven. There's 3 Drakloaks in the discard pile. I get a Psychic Energy. I think it's best for us to go Night Stretcher, EXP share. And we need to take a Drakloak. We've got 3 of them in the discard pile. I mean, it's just the best way to do this. And my opponent's down 2 boss. They might have a 3rd. If they got a 3rd like that, they got a 3rd like that. I mean, so be it. We will definitely go Ultra Ball here. Can attach the EXP share here. Smack the Psychic Energy down, I guess, on the Drakloak. And go Assassin's Return. And let this guy rock. We do not want to put it into our hand. We want to see if we can soak a hit before putting it into our hand. And giving my opponent a Dreepy. And then I could also Ultra Ball and evolve into a Dragapult. Just so my opponent can't one-shot anything in play. Buys us a little bit of time. And my opponent's going to have... Once we deal with this active Archaladin, my opponent is going to have an insanely difficult time getting enough energy for another attacker. And I've got a 4 prize card turn actually lined up right now if I could get a Fire Energy. If I get a Fire Energy top deck, we actually... Or Crispin. We actually do have a 4 prize card turn, which is nuts. We swing for 200 damage on Archaladin and then put 2 damage counters on Relicanth and 2 more on Reverum. And then that feels amazing. They got Nest Ball for another Archaladin, and now they've got, or Duraludin, I would assume, excuse me. And then they would have access to getting, more energy in play for a backup attacker. Now is where things get a little bit scarier, and we're going to need a great top deck. I feel like I've been drawing awful this game, but, I mean, again, we need to dodge boss's orders. I've got a top deck and a recon directive, and if nothing else, I've got an Ultra Ball for another... No, I can't get another Drakloak there in the... No! There is one more in the deck. Okay, I could do that. I could do that. And sack a Drakloak. But then I don't have a Dragapult. I don't know. We'll see. What's the top deck? Speak to me. Give me some amazing, in all honesty. Turo. That is actually pretty amazing. I'm gonna recon directive. I kinda love a Turo play here. Yeah. Yeah, let me do this first. What do I get? Buddy-Buddy Poffin Shaymin. I mean, sure. We can Ultra Ball that away. I don't think we actually use the Turo here. I think the best play for us is to take a Dragapult EX. Put this guy here. And then hold the Turo. I think we go Assassin's Return. We put him at 240. Plus Raging Hammer is 80 damage, which they do have access to. I mean, if they have boss, again, they have boss, like whatever at this point. I could Turo up, go Jet Headbutt. Doesn't feel that bad, honestly. You know what? Maybe in a situation like this, we go Jet Headbutt. It doesn't feel awesome either way, but yeah. At least we don't. What I'm scared of. Sorry, I don't think I was thinking because I was trying to run the math in my head. What I'm scared of is them going Raging Hammer. We do 120 damage. They've got 240 damage done to them. Plus 80 is 320. Which is bad. It's bad news bears. So we just do this. We Jet Headbutt so they don't get to that number as perfectly. They're at 70, which means that they're also short if they use Black Belt's training, because that would be plus 40. Now I believe they should be able to do 310, because 100, they've got 190 damage done to them, plus 80 would be 270, plus 40 is 310, yeah. So we should be able to live with Dragapult EX, and then this gives me a chance to take 2 prize cards the following turn. Because I could Rare Candy into Crobat, I could ping Relicanth and Reveroom, and if you remember, we do have a Fire Energy prize, which is the energy I need. But then you know what? We also do have to put 2 damage counters on the Arch Aladdin, so we can take the KO. No, we don't. Because they've got... Yeah, no, we don't have to do that. What did they just take? Hold on, what? Got rid of Iono? Squawk? Oh my god, do you have an Iono in your hand? Actually, no. If you Iono, you give me 4 new cards, and that could also be Arven, Night Stretcher. I mean, I've got a Fire Energy into this card. If I get access to that Fire Energy, yeah, you retreat here. You have to retreat here. What? And you go into that. Yeah, wait, that makes sense. Do you have another energy, though? Oh my god. I mean, if you have another energy, dude, I don't even know what to say. You got 4 energy and Night Stretcher. So no, you did not have another energy. You're just kind of built like that. Okay. I mean, I don't know how this one works. I am at a loss for making it through this one here. What do we top deck? Something great, right? A Fire Energy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright. We definitely Rare Candy into Crobat. I need to take 2 prize cards for sure. Yes, I would love to use Biting Spree. And then we tie him up, so I can't even use Counter Catcher, but like at this point, whatever. I get Iono, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Let's attach. Rip the Iono, what's in the deck? Boss is huge. Devo's great. And Team Rocket's Energy. If I can get Team Rocket's Energy, whew, this is going to be a retreat turn. Unless I get Artazon Rescue Board, this is 100% a retreat turn. And I get Crispin, which is not either of those things. How many of each energy do we have? We got no Psychic in the deck, but we do have 1 Fire in the deck. So that means I need to retreat and get rid of the Fire Energy, surprisingly. And if they have Boss, they have Boss. I could retreat into Shaymin. Right. Or no, I retreat into Crobat. There. Yeah. We retreat, get rid of the Fire Energy, because we do have one left in the deck. Give them Crobat, because it can't die from the attack. And we just live and die by the top deck. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. I think we could have beat this deck in a better world, but I wasn't blessed that way. And of course my opponent, I Iono them into Vessel so they could use the Rever Room and just draw into a massive hand. I mean, sure, whatever. And you get Iron Bundle. I mean, if you go Iron Bundle, I give you Shaymin, and honestly, I think that works better for me. You discard the energy, you draw a full 6 because you play the Iron Bundle, you go Boss for game. I mean, hey, yeah, that was just a rough one. I feel like the draws were not there. We played that one way too slow. I don't know if that was a misplay though, or if that was just how the cards were carding. I don't know. I'm living on heavy copium, I guess. I mean, it was a good game. It was a very good game. We had a great comeback. We just could not pull through. So, I mean, hey, it's unfortunate. Not the end of the world, though. I'm just trying to think if there's something I could have done differently at any point that might have been better. I don't really think so. I feel like I was fighting as hard as I could. I'm not sure. I mean, hey, let me know if there was. Not the end of the world. 2-1, solid record. Honestly, Crobat feels amazing in Dragapult. Like, in all honesty, like this felt like a great play. Felt very, very smooth, with the exception of that last game. But every game, sometimes, every deck has some rough draws, so it's not the end of the world. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, for real. Let me know if you guys want to see anything crazy next. And yeah, with that being said, stay epic. Peace.